Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for XLM Tau and a virtual price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Starting with XLM here on the all-time history where we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse towards the upside, finish wave 1 or wave A. After both case scenario, you are looking at a very long sideways correction, which it might be of course a triangle here or a W, X and a Y, finishing wave 2 or wave B. However, if this is a triangle here, it is much more likely that this is a wave B and not a wave 2 because it is not allowed to be a triangle. In this case, both case scenarios, actually you would like to see, of course, continuation toward the upside where you see 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5, potential wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, continuation for a wave 3, of course, or a wave C there. And in case we are in an impulse, of course, you would like to see 4 and a 5 towards higher prices. However, with this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, currently you are looking at the final wave in the gray scenario here as a wave 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5. The target might reach, of course, the 0.87, 0.77 cent for Stellar or for XLM. If we dive inside it, on the 2 hours chart, we can see on the 2 hours we have, of course, unfolded already a double 1, 2 in the blue scenario first and then in the white. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for your wave 3 here to finish in the white, and then 4, 5 to finish your wave 3 in the blue scenario. Followed by a very long sideways range W, X, and a Y, wave 4 finished. And currently you are looking, of course, to finish up a wave 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for higher prices. If we dive inside this area here, we can see, of course, an impulse unfolding as well, where you have double 1, 2, almost 1, 2. Or actually just 1, 2 here, just one impulse as 1, 2, 3, 4 and a 5 toward the upside might have finished, of course, in this case a wave 1 already, and you're looking so far for wave 2 to continue towards higher prices. So we can label already, of course, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The target for a wave 2 might be inside this blue box for an impulse in a wave 2. Here we go, where we have, of course, this blue box between the minimum requirement 0.38, 0.39 cents for a Stellar, and then of course continuation for higher prices. Of course, after reaching this wave 2, we're gonna get, of course, the target for a wave 3, but until that time, of course, we take it from this blue box. So that was it for Stellar. Let's move for the next one, which is Tau. So looking at Tau on the weekly for the all-time history here, where we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave A or a wave 1 finished a WXY, followed by a correction, wave 2 or a wave B. And then, of course, we are looking at another impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to finish potential wave 1 here. And it can be, of course, an impulse followed by a correction wave 2 here for 1, 2. However, this wave 2 was very deep, taking the 886. Few cents were, of course, separating this wave 2 from invalidation. However, we saw, of course, after all, another impulse towards the upside on the 2 hours chart, potentially finishing 1, and currently you're looking probably for a wave 2 in an A, B, and a C towards the downside, where you got already 3 waves towards the upside here, invalidated, of course, in case it was an impulse 1, 2, 3, the wave 4 invalidated this impulse, and you might see, of course, continuation for a wave C in a wave 2 around, of course, these fib levels, 0.54286 here, and taking the low at least, of course, for this scenario. Another possible scenario here, rather than being just 1, 2, 1, 2, and then you're looking for a wave 3 toward the upside, you might be in an A, B, and you are looking, of course, for an ending diagonal for a wave C, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, especially that this wave 2 took the 886. It is a common target for a wave 2 in diagonal, of course, which it might play here as an ending diagonal. The target, of course, for this bull run, where we might see, of course, higher prices continuation, is the 1-to-1 fib level in precision inside this blue box, $907 for Tau. If we dive deeper inside this area, on the 2 hours chart, we can see, of course, after this possible scenario where we have, of course, already a wave 1 with a defined direction for the market towards the upside, and of course followed by a correction, as of course more confirmation that we're still looking for higher here. you might see, of course, another ABC towards the upside, where we saw, of course, invalidation again for this possible scenario. Now, we were estimating in the live stream as well, what if in case we were 1, 2, 3, right? So both are an impulse, correction, and impulse, and again correction. What is the case when we have a double 1, 2 here toward the upside in an alternative scenario, which is this case scenario where you have 1, 2, and you got another 1, 2 here in the yellow, and you might see, of course, continuation for higher prices. Now we see exactly this signal that it might be, of course, an impulse unfolding toward the upside here is a very nice signal after you finished here a potential 1, 2, 3 toward the downside. Well, but the invalidation for this bearish signal is still a little bit far. So invalidation of bearish is, of course, at this price $402 for tau, meaning you would like to see the price moving impulsively towards, of course, the 402 to invalidate any case of a bearish scenario. And that because, of course, you might still have something to unfold as a wave 4 and a 5 in a bigger impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 to finalize, as we mentioned, of course, the previous scenario, which it might be, of course, in confluence with this one, of course, as a wave 2, A, B, and a C. So in case that we take this invalidation, therefore we forget about this blue box, but until that time, we have to keep it in mind. We might, of course, move again towards the downside for this blue box to finalize a bigger ABC taking the low here, and then continue towards higher prices. So, of course, we're going to see and watch as these level exactly, and until that time, of course, I would consider that this on the lower time frame is kind of an impulsive wave, definitely. We are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, but it might be, of course, a zigzag. And this zigzag is a little bit still far even to reach the invalidation. So it might turn still, of course, for a wave 5 for a new low here. And taking, of course, the other scenario that we already explained in this case. All right, so that was it for tau. We're going to see what's going to happen. Let's watch the invalidation level and, of course, the structure over there. For virtuals, we're going to start also on the daily for virtuals to see the all-time history so far, knowing that it is not a very old chart here, but still, of course, a good chart, where we have, of course, an impulse potentially here, 1, 2, 3 finished, and you're looking, of course, for W, X, and a Y followed for a wave B and a wave A, B, and a C towards the upside, or 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So in this case, you are looking after it at an impulse wave 1. In this impulse wave 1, you're looking again for another correction, wave 2, 3 ways down, 3 ways up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. I'm still expecting, of course, one more leg towards the downside to hit in precision the 1-to-1 fib level between the 0.5, 0.618 inside this blue box A, B, and a C, and then continuation for higher prices again. In case we are still corrective ABC, you would like to see at least the 1-to-1 fib level 7.96, taking the all-time high anyway, and then moving down again, of course, as an expanding flat, which is rare case scenario. My highest possibility is to break the 1-to-1 fib level and reaching, of course, the blue zone between, of course, the $10 and the $17 for virtuals. If we dive inside it on the 2 hours chart to see this correction, how it is unfolding and what we might see, of course, later. So basically, we are still expecting this regular flat as the 3 waves down, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Very clear, of course, impulse. The invalidation is not taken yet. And of course, is this what we need to watch next? Of course, invalidation of bearish. If this level is taken, 1.46, that means, of course, you might invalidate an impulse. This might turn into W, X, and a Y, and you might see, of course, continuation for higher prices, ignoring, of course, these targets, and it's a reversal for the market, and continue, of course, the bullish scenario since you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1, A, B, C, and W, X, and Y already for wave 2, and then continuation for higher prices. So those are the possibilities for tau, XLM, and virtual. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.